is James Mathers for the Digital Cinema Society at NAB 2023. I'm here with Sean Robinson from Panasonic Lumix, and he's going to tell us about some new collaborations that you have.
Yeah, thanks for coming to the show. We're so excited to be back this year and with the big attendance. To be showing off things like our S5 Mark II X, finally. We announced it back at CES, but we're much closer to the release, probably about a month or so away. And yeah, with this one, it's just really exciting because we're taking a platform and kind of a methodology for the entry, quote-unquote, level cameras, where if you're a filmmaker or a video creator and you want higher-end tools available, so things like ProRes, all-intro recording options, ProRes RAW support, we make a variant of our base model specifically for this crowd. So the S5 Mark II X will do things like 6K open gate recording, it'll do Cinema 4K, it'll do Full HD 120 frames per second. But then when we go to the X model, we're adding in ProRes 422, ProRes 422 HQ, we're adding in SSD external support, so knowing that SD cards are expensive the larger size you get, you now can actually use the better cost per gig storage solutions. In addition to that, while it's still a hybrid camera, it can still do photos and videos. It also has our live view composite functionality, so if you want to do those creative shots, which is cool because you can still add video on top of that just by HDMI. It's fully stabilized system, so handheld rigs, run and gun kind of stuff. You're going to be able to throw this in and mix it in with a lot of other kind of platforms. But I think for anyone that's going to be higher level cinema creation with this, we have a feature called real-time LUT built into the camera that allows you to take basically any of the color profiles, and more specifically Vlog for those that are going to be doing higher-end editing, and either apply a finished look to it in camera that you already created, and it will bake it into the footage. Or if you're working with a multi-different camera system workflow and you want to add this camera into your ecosystem, you could theoretically just throw a color space transform on top of our Vlog to bring it into whatever workspace you're already in, so that now the editing side, you're just taking and treating it like the other system camera that you're working with. So we've built this to be the camera for entry to mid-level video creators, and then be that solid camera for higher end cinema production where you need a smaller, more compact tool to go with you. But in addition to that, when we get to like the collaborative side of what we're super excited about this year, is that I mentioned that this camera does USB SSD storage recording. Well, so does another one of our cameras, the GH6. And the GH6 was able to do things like ProRes and all that stuff, like what we mentioned before, and those all had to go to an SSD already. Well, up until now, everyone's always had to just bolt an SSD onto the side with like some sort of cage or housing, and then it's just there in your way, and it serves no other purpose than storage. Well, last year we connected with SanDisk in their release of the ProBlade SSD storage solution, and had pointed out in conversations with them that, well, if you worked with an accessory partner to build that into something that is useful for cameras, like a handle, that would be possibly one of the most exciting, useful tools to actually come out in the market. Well, here we are 12 months later, and one of our awesome partners, Condor Blue, came out with the handle at the beginning of the show yesterday that has integrated that exact plan of using these SanDisk ProBlade SSDs, up to 2 terabytes with us, and integrating it into an actual useful part of the cage. So now if you're a GH6 user and you want to be able to utilize SSDs, you don't have to bolt it on, have it take up space. You've got a useful tool now. And it's just USB out here into the grip. It also works as an ability to actually plug into your computer afterwards, so you would offload your footage. And it's probably safe to assume that, while we're talking about the GH6 with this one's going to support SSDs as well. No formal approval has been given yet, but we know that it works for this. So, yeah, we're just so super excited because companies like Condor Blue, SanDisk, and obviously we're going to tout ourselves here, are proving that quick innovation can still happen in this industry. And to go from an idea of a bunch of people just talking, having a conversation on the trade show floor, to 12 months later, an actual product that is for pre-order right now and going to be shipping soon, that's just crazy. And yes, Lumix, we're super proud to be part of it. And yeah.
Great collaboration, and it makes so much sense. I mean, those connectors are always coming out, and one less connector to pop out.
Exactly. No, but yeah, other than that, it's just super exciting. We've got so many cool products that we're showing off. All the S5 IIs, the entire L-mount line is here with, well, most of it actually. And yeah, it's like I said, it's just super fun to be back at the show and connecting with you again.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.